My name's Aaqil Ahmed. I'm a professor and I've held numerous positions in the media for the last 25 years. I'm the son of migrants to this country, so my dad drove here in 1961 and also my mum was a child refugee in Pakistan, and we grew up in Wigan, moved to Bolton as kids and had a state education, and then went to be a graphic designer. And I qualified as a graphic designer and then had to learn a little bit about computers, because I obviously qualified in a time before computers, and ended up discovering photography and film. And I actually explored the territory of wanting to tell stories through film and the medium of documentary. And so ended up very luckily getting a job at the BBC, and I've not stopped working since. My dad gave me some great advice throughout that whole period, which was, this is a world that he didn't understand, and he referred to it as a white man's world, and he said, you're going to have to be better than the average white person simply just to be taken as a normal worker or a normal student in this area. And at the time, didn't probably understand what he was saying, but as the years have gone on, I fully understand what he meant. The rules are very different for people of colour. One of the biggest things I've learned over the years, I think, is that actually it's about being pigeonholed. And you can be pigeonholed in a number of things. It can be in the subject that you're working in, it can be in the geographical area that you're working in, it can be in a number of different things and people's perceptions of you. And I think you have to be honest and open and realise that people will have their own unconscious bias. And you have to work around that, and you have to understand that it exists. The cultural differences become more extreme, as it were, when the higher up the food chain you get. But I hope I've been able to navigate it, and I hope I've also been able to help people come behind as well. So I'm a founder member of Mosaic, which is a Prince's Trust charity for mentoring. I've never had a mentor. I've had a couple of unofficial type mentors, people that I would still talk to today who've been really influential at the key moments in my career and life. But I so believe in mentoring. One of the things that I've been very lucky to experience is that people who really have to believe in you, they really have to think, and that can be of any background. But what I've found is it's often people who themselves don't come from, the best way to describe it, they don't come from kind of like privileged backgrounds themselves. And if they don't come from that kind of privileged background, then they can see something in you and then they can help you. Mentoring takes on so many forms. You know, I was a kids football coach for about 11 years. There's an element of it in that. There's the element of just how you behave at work or how you behave wherever you might be. Mentoring, whether it's formal or informal, I think is the ultimate. It can take somebody from one place and put them in another. You know, all of us need that help. I think whatever stage you're at, you need people to champion you. You need people to help you. You need to have networks. We need to look for people that we can be inspired by. I think when you're looking at inspiring people, I think you have to understand what is it that people want, what makes them tick. And one of those big things is actually authenticity. Inspiring doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the come on, follow me chaps as we go over the trenches. It's not necessarily about that. It can be something quite simple, which is to say, actually, I'm in it with you. Whatever career you're going into, the one thing you really need is resilience. If you're not resilient, you're going to get knocked back. The best bit of advice I would give to people is actually be ready for the turbulence. If you can deal with the turbulence, you'll be okay.